Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good to see everybody. God bless and much love to all of y'all. Hey, Danny Lynn, you number one in here tonight, girl. All right. There we go. Hey, everyone. Hey, hey, hey to you, girl. Good to see you. Amen. Family, summer, PGOA. You got that right, girl. God bless. Patty Allen, number two. Number two, girlfriend. All right. Hello, PG. Hello, hello, hello to you. Good to see you in here, sweetie. Good to see you, Bridget. Good to see you, girl. Number three. Number three in here tonight. Hello, PG. Glad I made it tonight. Hey, girl, I'm glad you made it too. God bless you. And Brat, number four. Number four. Good evening, PG. Much love. Much love to you, girl. God bless. God bless you. Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Prayers and love. Prayers and loves for Miss Norway and prayers and love for everyone in the chat. Hey, girl, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. God bless. Good to see y'all. Good to see each and every last one of you. Let me see who else is in here. Texas Blue. There you are, girl. All right. And Miss Justice, 1111. Always at the top. Always at the top. God bless. And let's see, Parker, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you. Who else we got in here tonight? I'm looking. Australia, there you are, girl. I knew I'd find you somewhere. Let's see. I'm moving to the bottom. I'm moving to the bottom. PG's got a cold. Hey, Deputy Sheriff, good to see you. Good to see you in here tonight. God bless. Much love. Linda, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Oh, Prayer Garden, good to see you too. All right. I'm just messing with you. Right. Let's see who else is in here. I'm heading to the bottom as fast as. Oh, I appreciate that, Brat. Absolutely appreciate it. Hey, absolutely. We are praying she's found and justice gets served. Amen. That is the truth. That is the truth. Patty Allen says, hey, to you, girl. Good to see you. Good to see you in here. Amen. Justice for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. God bless. Hey, Sherry, how you doing, sweetie? Jana, how you doing? See, there you are. Lynn. Foster, how you doing? Good to see you in here tonight. Tina, Suzanne, how you doing? Ha, Dixon, how you doing in here? Good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Hello, PG and chat. Prayers and love. Prayers and love to you, girl. You know it. Hey, Caroline, how you doing? Lucky lady. Oh, that's Lock Lady. I'm sorry. I was going to say I love that Lucky Lady. Right? Sounds like a boat. That sounds like a boat, Lucky Lady. Right? Or card shark. Right? Somebody that's always winning. Hey, Karen, how you doing? D, good to see you. Hey, Starbucks, good to see you. Absolutely, justice for Summer Wells. Anyway, good to see everybody in here tonight. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to talk about some things in here, right? We're going to talk about some stuff. Uh, we want to talk about Candace I'm talking about old Can Can. Hey Can Can, I know you're in the bushes. Why you friend requesting? Why you friend requesting PG? Why you over there friend requesting Summers and other missing children's channel? Well, what are you doing? Just want to know. I asked you. I came through the chat. I said, why are you friend requesting Summers channel and other missing kids channel over here? Any of you got an idea why she be friend requesting us? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to be friends with her, right? I don't want to be friends with somebody that lies about June 15th, 2021. I don't want to be friends with that. No way. Can't be friends with that. And I don't want to be friends. I don't want to be no friends with somebody that don't get somebody help when they need it, right? You can't pick up the phone, call 911, and get a woman help that's been so kind to you, so nice to you, so generous to you. You don't bother to save her life. Oh, fuck that. Don't friend request me. Don't friend request me. That friend request, Candace, out the window, baby. I don't mess with people like you. And I sure the hell ain't going to take you on Summer's Facebook and other missing children's Facebook. No way. You should be staying away from children. Stay away from them. You messed up 2 children in Wisconsin, 1 over in Arkansas, and 4 more in Tennessee. Why are you friend requesting missing children's channel? Really? Get the memo. We're not going to be we're not going to let you be our friend. We don't befriend evilness, right? We don't befriend that. Absolutely not. Summer's Army ain't gonna befriend that. I don't know who in their right mind would befriend that, right? I don't even know. Unless you've got another Facebook, that's the last person you want to take on. You know, Candace is the last person you want to take on your Facebook. But like you know, I have a message for Candace. I have a message for her. Absolutely. We will not stop until summer is found. You got that right, girlfriend. You got that right. You got that right. And Don Wells, yeah, Don Wells hit Summer's Facebook up too, and I said no. I hit no. Absolutely not. He requested, he made a request as well, and I denied that request. I do not want Don Wells. I do not want Candace Wells anywhere near Summer's Facebook and other missing children's Facebook. We run a Facebook for Summer and all missing children, and those are the last people I want in there surfing around, right? They've already destroyed so many children as it is. And Candace needs to go. She needs to go, and she needs to read, and she needs to read Psalms 1, right? She needs to go and she needs to read Psalms 1. Absolutely. Absolutely. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor sitteth in the seat of sinners, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he do meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in season. His leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly, well, Candace, the way of the ungodly shall perish. Shall perish. And in my opinion, you are ungodly. That's just my opinion. I'm going to keep it. But it is my opinion. And I think it's a whole lot of other people's opinion too. Nothing good follows Candace. Nothing good follows Candace Wells, right? June the 15th, nothing good followed Candace. In Wisconsin, nothing good followed Candace. 2 children left in Wisconsin abused. One of them not even able to live life right anymore. Let's look at Arkansas. Another one left in a hospital, right? All messed up from Candace. Let's go over into Tennessee, where one's completely missing and 3 more in foster care, dealing with all kinds of mental trauma, physical trauma, right? Yeah. Nothing good. Nothing good follows Don Wells. Let's go up into Utah, where he was, trying to sell his children, right? Messing around with, doodling the poodle, right? He's a poodle doodler. And who knows what else? And who knows what else? You know, we don't know what all animals he's had in his midst, right? We don't know. And his stepsisters. And his stepsisters. And their friends and their cousins. I mean, this guy did nothing but destroy other people's lives, right? Just destroyed other people's lives like he had some kind of right to do that. Like, you know, like he owns these people. Don Well's one of those people, you know, if he tries to get to know you, all of a sudden he thinks he owns you. He has rights to, you know, to violate you and offend you and destroy you. Something's wrong with him. Something wrong up there, you know, up there in the head. Something's wrong with him. Something ain't right. And Candace ain't no better. Candace Wells is no better. Candace Wells hates everybody. She hates the whole world. She don't have no friends. She has no friends at all. She don't know what being a friend is, and she has no friends. People think they're Candace's friends. People try to make friends with her. They think they're her friend. But what they don't know about Candace is she can't be a friend to anyone. She don't want to be your friend. She wants to use and abuse you. Like she did Allison and like she did that other lady before Allison. She was hanging around, you know, getting all close to in order to get close to that woman's son, just like she did Hunter. And that's what she does. That is what she does. She tries to get, like Dee Dee. She wasn't friends with Dee Dee. She was looking past Dee Dee at Dee Dee's husband and all of Dee Dee's stuff and Dee Dee's car, which she's still driving, right? She looks past. She don't want you to be her friend. She wants to size you up and then see if she could swallow you like a snake. Right? That's what Candace wants. And it's the truth. I'm not going to say that's my opinion. I'm not going to say that. Because it's the truth. It's a fact. That's what she has done to so many people. She did it to Allison. She did it to Dee Dee. She did it to the other lady before Allison. She does it to all of these people. She did it to Day Day over there. You know, telling Day Day how you need to put out my Cash App. You need to do this and that. You need to help me. You know, Candace don't respect. She expects. And that's what evil people do. That's how you tell an evil person is when they start expecting instead of respecting. Because I'm going to tell you something about God's children and good people in general. I don't care if you're a sinner or not. It don't matter. There's a big difference between a sinner and an evil human being. A big difference. Because even a sinner can be respectful for everything they get. They don't expect nothing. And when someone helps them, they really respect it. Respect isn't contained to just God's children, the ones who are saved and walk in the righteous path. Respect lies in a lot of sinners too, but it does not lie in pure evilness. Respect does not lie in pure evilness. Oh, hell no. There is no honor nor respect among evil human beings. And let me tell you something about evil human beings, and you got to be real careful. Because, honey, you might be a partner in crime with that evil human being today. But if they'll do it with you, they're going to do it to you. So while you're doing it, you better be watching your back in the future. because you're probably going to be next on the list. Just saying. Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself, especially when you're in the company of people like Candace Wells. Okay? Yeah. I'm going to tell you. PG, I come from the hood. I come from the hood. You know what? I like to say I'm not proud of it, but I am. I like to say, what a shit place really drug me down. It did. But I'm going to tell you something. The life lesson, what I've learned from being there, I'm going to tell you what. It was worth it all. It was worth it. Sometimes it's worth being drugged through the mud. Right? You get a degree. You get a degree that you wouldn't have had if you had not been drugged through that mud. It's called a lot of damn smartigans. You get a whole lot of smartigans when you've been there and done that. Right? You learn how these people are. And no matter where you see them, whether it's in the hood you were raised in, they ain't confined to the hood you were raised in. They ain't confined into the bodies, into the main bodies that you know. These people are all over the place. The same shit, just different states, different areas. The same shit. If you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times, right? And man, you could spot them a mile away. And a lot of them you could smell, right? A lot of them you can smell. Most of them don't like the bath. That's the thing about these evil people. They don't like to use soap and water. What the fuck's up with that? I don't even know. I mean, they ain't only doing evil, right? They're not only doing evil, but they got a stench. They got a stench like, they think the devil must want to smell. To be honest with you, I don't think the devil wants to smell that mother freaking stench, man. Right? That's why the devil has people handing you freaking toiletry packets, right? That's why he has people handing you soap. That's why he puts you in a place, with running water. So you take a damn bath. Brush your freaking teeth. Do something. Hey Jane, how you doing tonight, sweetie? Hello, PG and Mods friends who are here to be a voice for the victims, not subjects. Big love and respect. Amen. She said, not the suspects. I'm gonna tell you, my mouth's on its own path tonight. Obviously, my eyes are too. Oh, they are sorry excuses. Absolutely. Absolutely, German Shepherd Mama. Absolutely, sweetie. You got that right. They are sorry excuses as parents. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. I'm not going to disagree with that. That's true too, lovely London. I can't disagree with that as well. I can't, what a waste of money. What a waste of money. Dr. Phil. Man, this guy must have money to throw away, right? He must have money to throw away. Because what a waste of money. Why would they put freaking veneers over top of rotten teeth? Who in the hell does that? Who in the hell, puts veneers over the stench of rotten freaking teeth? I don't even know. I'm still sitting around trying to, that mother freaking keeps me awake at night. Seriously, it often keeps me awake at night, thinking to myself, what the hell was he thinking? The mother freaking, to stick veneers over top of rotten teeth. I mean, that was, whoa. I don't even know what damn dentist would do that. I don't even know what dentist would do that. I'd be afraid, I'd be afraid to lose my credentials, right? Putting freaking veneers over stench like that, all rottened up. I mean, right when she opened her mouth, like, that it was like the awfulest, like a big sewer, like somebody opened a sewer, right? It was like someone opened the freaking sewer. Oh, speaking of sewers, I'm going to tell you, I was out somewhere today and I had to go potty, right? I don't want to talk about my pottying, but I had to go, number one, real quick. And I run into this restroom, and I'm going to tell you what, you want to talk about a sewer. Oh my gosh. I don't know who in the hell was in the other stall, but I wish nature wouldn't have called for him while I was there, And it was like, oh my gosh. I thought it was going to fall over for real. I was like, wow. I do not know what crawled up there and, decided not to make it, but it was bad. I was like, geez. Yeah, this is the shit we have to put up with as humans in this life, right? But I bet that's the way I bet that dentist had to back the hell up a few times while he was working inside that freaking sewer hole. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know, that would have been treacherous. Yeah. The things other people put us through, right? So ungodly. Oh, wow. I appreciate that, Jane. My birthday gift to Prayer Garden of America for all she represents, a true voice for the voiceless. Hey, girl, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support for Summer's channel. God bless. For real. Absolutely. Absolutely, Parker. Amen. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. No, there isn't, Dreamcatcher. There isn't. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you, uh, this life is, a two-way mirror, right? You're only going to get what you put out. I mean, you look in the mirror and you're not happy, then you got to fix it. Yeah, right? You got to fix it. You ain't happy with your hair, fix it. You ain't happy with your face, get some makeup, do what you have to do, fix it. Everybody can be fixed. You can fix it, right? Whatever you dislike about yourself, you can fix it. Work on it, fix it. There's an answer. Seek and you shall find. right? You'll find it. Just look for it. You'll find it. Hey Pam, I gotta see you, sweetie. I gotta see you, Pam. Okay. Is that you, Pam? No.
Yep.
Okay, girlfriend. I seen you. You close the camera back. All right. We got beautiful Pam on panel hanging out with PG tonight. I gotta find the right one. There it is. All right. I got us going all over the place. We're square dancing, Pam. Right here. Do-si do. Here we go. Do-si do. I'm up here square dancing with Pam. Anyway, I wanted to talk the other night about some stuff. And one of the things I want to speak on tonight is, let me take a look here. One of the things I want to speak on tonight is Dom Wells. You know, Dom Wells been putting out some things. Matter of fact, it was just on the 10th, 2 days ago, he puts out a post that says, well, people rage about ICE on CPS and family courts have been taking children and unliving parents and children by proxy for over 50 years right under our noses. Don't assume your family is immune. It's only a matter of time. Well, I think your family is immune to it if you're not a child abuser. You know, I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm not going to say that CPS doesn't go in on parents who do not deserve, you know, for them to be there, because they do. A lot of times, you got people wanting to use CPS as, a punishment against people. Like, what I'm saying is, and you have a dispute with a neighbor, and that neighbor automatically, dials on CPS and makes up a bunch of lies to get them knocking on your door, right? And here they come knocking on your door because you had this altercation with somebody, and they're using CPS, as a weapon basically against other people, and because they ain't got enough ass, you know, to come and say what they really like to say or do to your face, right? And they take the coward way out, by using CPS to do their dirty work, and so forth and so on. And a lot of people, get CPS, knocking at their door, um, over a bunch of bullshit, and they don't deserve, CPS to even be around their house because their house is clean, their refrigerators are full, and their children are very well taken care of. And as soon as CPS sees that, they hop that ass in their car and leave, right? Absolutely. But there is a lot of cases like Don and Candace Wells where the children should have been took long before they was, and they weren't until a child is completely missing. Matter of fact, there's a lot of cases like Don and Candace Wells where the parents shouldn't have ever had the children because they've already abused so damn many in the past that they shouldn't have been allowed to have any more at all. It should have been right there. As soon as they went in the hospital to have the child, the record should have popped up, and the state should have took the child immediately because of the past damage that they did to other children, right? I mean, if you ask me, Don and Candace should not have been able to keep any of those 4 children after what they did to the kids up in Utah, what they did in, Candace done in Wisconsin. Children should not have been allowed to be in their presence anymore. That's my opinion. Summer should have not ever needed to be saved. She should not have ever needed to be saved. They should have saved her at birth. They should have saved her at birth after what happened to the other 2 children, the little boy at birth in Wisconsin. Don Wells, he shouldn't have been allowed around any children after what he done up in Utah. It's just the way it is. I mean, they can post all the shit they want about CPS, but CPS was too late doing their job when it came to the Wells house. That job should have been done before Summer ever went missing. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. So, he can sit all day long. I don't blame CPS for taking their kids. I blame CPS for not taking them sooner. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree.
Agree. And CPS didn't take them kids on purpose. They should. There's a lot of people up there on that hill that failed them kids. But nobody wants to admit that they failed. Just like the CPS. When they should have been in there sooner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And all their little so-called friends that, all these friends that she had should have reported her way back. And should still report her. Anything report her.
Right? Absolutely.
If they tell you anything, report it. Anything is worth finding Summer. Because obviously the parents don't care.
Right.
And Candace can go over there and she can mod on all these channels. They're only using her. But let her figure that one out. She could go and have all the days that she don't deserve. And over there on that other channel with her.
Right? I do not know how her and Don Wells could show their faces anywhere in society. Anywhere in society. I'm going to tell you why. Because, the handwriting's on the wall, right? The handwriting is on the wall about June 15, 2021. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Don and Candace and Grandis has to say. We all know if it fucking looks like a duck, it quacks like a damn duck, and it waddles like a fucking duck, it's a duck, right? We know
exactly.
That. And I'm going to tell you what, we know that these mother freakers are the number 1 damn suspects in Summer Moon Utah Wells case. Number 1 suspects in the eyes of all the people here and in the eyes of the law as well. Absolutely. And I'm not going to say in my opinion because it's the damn truth. It's the truth. It's a fact. And they freaking know it. And they know it. And how can you... They have no shame. They have no shame, Pam. They have no shame.
That lady you were talking about before Allie, that was Leslie.
Right?
Leslie, Allie, and Dee Dee. All in Candace's hands. Almost.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Leslie, this is fact. Leslie went to Allison's house and told Allison if she did not go to law enforcement and report something about Hunter, that she was going to go do it. And she came up unalived. And Hunter happened to be staying with her at the time that she had went to Allison and told Allison this. It was a big old thing that, blew up right out front of Allison's house. And Leslie was telling her, if you do not go to law enforcement, I'm going to. And the next thing we know, Leslie is gone. And then Hunter steals all of Allison's rent money and everything, goes and gets tattoos. He's out of control. And the next thing you know, Allison's unalived. I bet 10-1, Allison told him that she wished she wouldn't have covered for his ass, that she wished she would have told law enforcement everything, and that she might still go and tell them everything after everything he's been doing. And I think that's what made her meet her demise as well. Both of these women, for some reason, as I said, Leslie went to Allison saying, if you don't go to law enforcement, I'm going to. And she ends up unalived. And Hunter is the one at her home at the time all of this goes down. And then Hunter's at Mommy's house when he steals everything, gets tattoos, and and Mommy passes away the exact same way Leslie does. Both of these women had head injuries that put them into comas, and both of these women didn't come out of the coma and they passed away. You tell me what the fuck the odds are of that. What is the damn odds of two people being unalived exactly the same way? Oh, hell no. Hell
and then
no.
Leslie seeing the boys lay on the pavement. After they get out of the pool, Candace makes them lay on the pavement. Leslie said that to Chris at Allie's.
Well, Leslie
There's
also
always a
said,
little bit of truth.
Leslie also said that she refused to take Allison to Candace's house. She said she could not stand Candace, that she did not like Candace, and she did not want a damn thing to do with Candace. And she told Allison that she needed to stay away from that woman as well and quit hanging around her and going around her and socializing with her, that Candace was nothing but pure evil. And Allison didn't listen. And Alice, didn't listen to Leslie. But, I think Leslie at that particular time talking to Chris had made a very big enemy, when it came to Candace. I think she made a very big enemy out of Candace the minute she said all that stuff, on that's being, put out here in the YouTube world for everyone to hear. And Candace had Hunter in her pocket. Candace was still calling Hunter, still having stuff to do with Hunter, still going past Hunter's house when she wasn't supposed to be. Matter of fact, I give you guys a little update. She's still going past this guy's place. He no longer lives where Mommy once lived. He lives somewhere else, and Candace is rolling her wheels past his house. She's still contacting this boy. And, and this boy still likes being contacted by her, right?
Yeah,
So
like the little Cameron boy that was right on the shed, right?
That relationship has not ceased. It has not ceased. I'm telling you, these evil people are still in cahoots with one another. They're still in cahoots with each other as we speak right now. And like I said, how deep does that water go? I mean, we just have a tip of the iceberg. We got the part, what we can see. What can we see? I tell you what we can see. We can see very, 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 very little when it comes to this case. We're not getting the full picture. Um, as in what little we see, um, we know that June the 15th, Summer went missing. We know that, Don and Candace wasn't doing a damn thing to find Summer. We know that they was making up all kinds of excuses. They didn't even want to talk about her because they was afraid of slipping up and getting their asses put in prison. So, they talked about anything and everything else they could. So we know right there that made them look guilty as hell. They were telling law enforcement where she wasn't because, they knew where she was. That's how they was telling law enforcement where she wasn't, because you can't tell somebody where someone isn't unless you do know where they're at. So, we know that right there is, that right there is definitely, um,
There's always a little bit of truth in a lie.
honey, I'm going to tell you something. It's all truth. And what I'm saying right now, it is all truth. And what I'm telling you, we all sit there. We all seen them not looking for these babies. I mean, we all stood there and watched them talk about everybody else and throw everybody under a bus and go off on any subject except this little girl. I mean, you know how long it took us to get Summer out of the dark and into the light because they were pushing her so far in the dark and talking about everything else. So, trying to gain everybody's support and so forth and so on. And, and it was happening. We sit there and we watched this little girl slip away and slip away and slip away into the darkness, and because that's what Don and Candace's plan was, is to annihilate Summer altogether and talk about a whole lot of other shit and get people off the topic that, we were all here for, right? June the 15th, Summer Moon, Utah Wells, missing. The goal was to find her, bring her home, and get justice for her. But they was wanting all of that to slip into the darkness, the abyss, and so they could, get all this attention and talk about a bunch of bullshit and have all of these people, sending them gift cards and gift certificates and Venmos and PayPals and all the bullshit and filling their damn pockets. And they did to about the tune of over $100 and some $1,000 came in their hands. And how much of that did they put towards a reward fund for their daughter? How much did they put towards the three boys some Christmas, birthdays, or clothes, school clothes, or any damn thing? They didn't put $1 of that towards any damn thing except their own fucking asses. And I don't even know what the hell they spent it on, but you know what, I'm pretty sure it's gone by now. And they're out having good times. They're out doing all the things they want to do and just spending money, And Candace, couldn't stay on the hill. She had to go all over the place. And you had, Don Wells, they're buying phones, they're buying computers, they're buying this, they're buying that. They were even giving away gift cards and selling them and everything else. Walmart gift cards and stuff. They was getting so much. They were getting so much that they thought they were the fucking king and queen of Knobs Hill. I mean, they thought they were real fucking celebrities and that people should be bowing down to and groveling at their damn feet just to try to have them around for a minute, like, White Boy was doing and Day Day was doing and a few of these other, these other people that ain't got enough sense to see what the fuck they are. I mean, you're going to bow down and kiss the backside of a demon? What the fuck? Like, that's sickening. It's sickening when I see creators groveling at the feet of these fucking suspects. it's just ungodly, to be
And
honest
she
with you.
mods over on this other channel, and I'm not gonna say the channel name, but she mods over this other channel. Guess what, PG? In that chat, guess what? I'm your dog. And I'm 108 years old. Get a life.
You're a dog.
I'm your dog.
You're my dog.
Yeah, that's what they said.
You my dog.
Yeah, I'm
You
your
my
dog.
dog,
What
girl.
wrong?
You be my dog.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm your dog.
I'm gonna tell you something. In the hood, being a road dog ain't nothing wrong with being a road dog, girl. You know you gonna be my road dog. You my road dog. What the hell? Hey, so
And I'm
what?
100 and I'm 108 years old.
Wow, you an old road dog.
Exactly.
You an old road dog, ma'am. What can I say?
But hey, this old road dog's been here from day one. You want to know something about
You just keep rolling, girlfriend. You just keep rolling, 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 rolling.
rolling?
Keep them dogs a rolling.
But I ain't gonna go to no dollar store and get me nothing.
Whoa.
But
Yeah.
I'm yours. I'm PG's dog.
Hey, they ain't nothing.
Remember that, everybody in the chat. I'm
Ain't
PG's dog.
you my road dog, girl. You my road
I'm a
dog.
bark dog.
100 and some
And
years
that
old.
channel, that channel
100,
has Candace
some,
Bly or
100
Candace
some years
Brown,
old,
whatever you
Pam.
want
We
to
have to
call
get a
her.
Freddie Flintstone car. Right?
And
We know how to be
has her
driving.
as a mod.
Oh, shit. That cracks me up.
Yeah, I'm your little, I guess I'm your little, I mean, they said dog. It's like, what for?
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Hey, I got 3 of them.
Oh, shit.
None of them's a poodle.
That cracks me up, man.
Yeah, I was in that chat. I forgot to screenshot it. But man, I'm your dog.
Keep on mama's out just singing that song to myself. Oh, crap.
Oh, and guess who came up on the channel the other day? The other night on that same channel. Oh, and she brought it up. The one that let the coochie, whatever, grandma get the white stuff out of the vagina.
What?
Remember?
Whose coochie did what?
Remember when Lisa Jettins was in that live saying that she was in a hotel and somebody,
Oh, yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
She had her up there on the panel to
Oh, you
talk
kidding?
about me.
They had Lisa up there?
Up there talking about me. I was their content.
Oh, damn. What night was that?
I think it was last night, maybe. I didn't watch
Wow.
it all because I can't watch it. I just
She was-
reported it and left.
You're kidding me. They straight up allowed that mother freaking
Gucci, whatever you want to call her, that
whoa. No,
horrifying.
no, no. I'm going to tell you something. Lisa Jensen was one of them that was in Arkansas living at Pam and Don Wells' house
Exactly.
with her little boy that she was letting people come and take him
Yeah,
and
yeah.
leave for however long and bring her little boy back after they did whatever and give it back to her. And her little boy was taken out of there with the other children who were being essayed.
Mm.
And then, yes, just not too long ago, she was up in a hotel with a little girl that they were doing some evil, awful things to,
Like stuff coming out of her vagina.
according to Brat and um
Yeah, Pam was Bennett. She wasn't in that one.
and whoever the other girl was.
Beth Ann
But
Horton.
Beth Ann, that's right. Um, they were on FaceTime. They were on FaceTime. Um, they
And
was
do
on.
you know she knows the grandma's name and she knows the mother of the child's name? Yeah. This is a girl that assaulted a man on aggravated assault and the guy died. This is somebody you want on your live. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess they had a little girl up in there, 3, 4 years old, doing weird stuff to it and videoing it and sending it out, asking people stuff. And oh my gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know. And as you
This
know,
is a girl, remember, she flew
and
aside just to go make money.
and she's still showing her face. She's still showing her face out here in the YouTube world after doing all of this stuff.
I heard that they're in everybody's chat under a different name now.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. All I got to say is, you know what? I wouldn't have her up here on this. I would not let her come up here on this panel. I would not let her on this panel under no circumstances would I let Lisa Jensen up here after what she did to that little 4-year-old child inside the hotel. She got that little girl no help. She was right in there, right along with these people. This is what she's into. And that's how she knew what the Wells was into, because she was into it also. Matter of fact, do you know that when they went in and took the children from Pam and Don's home in Arkansas, and all those little kids being essayed, and hers was one of them, she moved down the street into another home with a bunch of those kind of people, where this guy sitting right on a porch, and that's where he was arrested, because a neighbor happened to be looking out and seeing what he was doing to a little child over there on the front porch of that house where Lisa was after she left the Wells, and called the police, and they went and arrested that son of a mother. But he did it right there outside on a porch in front of everyone to this little girl, to a little girl child. And it was right down the street. And matter of fact, it was relation to Don and Pam Wells. It was relation to them, relation through Pam's older children, through Pam's older kids, some type of relation. Yeah. And she was down there. Lisa went from one slop house that was doing this to children down the road to another slop house where they were doing it to children. And a neighbor happened to see this stuff going on outside on a porch and called police. And when the police got there, they arrested the mother freaker that was doing that to this little girl. Absolutely. And they took that child out of there as well. And that was at a different house.
Her kid back.
And then she was in that hotel doing it with that, taking part in it with this other little girl that was being done like this. And then she was also, when Don and Candace was in Arkansas, right after Don got out of jail, and blamed Wayne Morlock. He blamed Wayne Morlock, said he thought Wayne Morlock had something to do with abducting Summer and doing evil things to Summer. And Wayne, he was scared of Wayne, and that's why he took out of Tennessee over into Arkansas, because he knew he fucked up big time when he run his mouth on Wayne Morlock. He knew right then and there, man, that was a big mistake. And he ran over into Arkansas. Matter of fact, he just ran into Arkansas at Christmas time to spend time over in Arkansas. But he ran over there and was trying to hide from Wayne in that hotel over there. And Lisa was contacting Don and Candace. She had contact with them and everything, and had been talking to them. And that's when the mother and those 3 children had disappeared. And Lisa happened to be the one hitting up an SAer and meeting up with an SAer. A known child, SAer. So anybody that would let her on their panel ain't worth the salt that goes in their bread. These are the last people. These are the last people that you want coming up on your panel, when you're supposed to be for missing children. You're supposed to be an advocate, a voice for the missing. How are you going to have people who use and abuse babies come up on your panel? Who in the hell wants that shit on their panel? You know what? I'm disappointed to hear that there's a creator out here that would even allow that kind of slop to be on their panel. That's what I got to say. And I don't give a damn if it offends them or not.
That live right now, and your
I can give a shit less. I can give a shit less.
And your name just got brought up, PG. See, that's how they do. They want to make content off of somebody else because they can't make it.
Bring me the fuck up. Bring me up. I don't care. Because when they're bringing PG up, they're bringing up their damn best. They're bringing up their best. That's what they're bringing up. What can they say about PG? What can they say about PG? Did I tell the fucking truth? That I don't put up with no bullshit? that I don't sit around? Yeah, you my dog. They can say you my dog. And shit, where I come from, girl, being a road dog is a cool thing. Being a road dog, let me tell you something. That's sick right there. That's sick. You got it going on. Somebody let you be the road dog. You got it going on. There's a lot of road dogs.
But they want to bring
shame in our game.
They want to bring trash up there on their panel like they did when they brought.
They probably are fucking trash, Pam. They probably are trash. If if you're hanging with you're hanging with garbage, you probably are garbage. The whole thing needs to be thrown out. That's what I'm talking about.
Birds of feather will flock together.
Amen. Absolutely.
And I ain't flocking with them. I want Summer found.
I'll tell you what, I'll flock by so they could kiss my ass. All right. There you go. I'll flock by so they could kiss PG's ass. They could kiss my big Freddie Flintstone foot right now. That's what the fuck they could do. I don't care.
Exactly. They can ride whatever pony they have to ride, buddy. Make sure we collect some of them cash apps. No, make sure we hit some.
I'll tell you what.
Give
I,
us a super sticker.
I
We're
tell you
here for
what.
the night.
Them bitches don't make enough to ride the white pony. All right. Do you want to ride the white pony? Right.
They ain't got nothing if they got to call in for. If they got to call Lisa Jettins in, woo! They ain't calling much in.
I'm gonna tell you, Lisa Jetton, man, oh, that bitch right there. I ain't got nothing for her. I ain't got nothing for her. She just as evil and violent and disgusting as the Wells. She she's like low.
Remember when she and Candace was gonna go do a visual?
I'm gonna tell you, fucking Kroger,
Hang on.
freaking
It's
Kroger's
on
Lolo
Shabbat.
ain't got nothing on Lisa Jenton. Right? I don't care how low they go. They ain't going lower than that.
They probably don't know 10 phrases of what Candace has ever said. Quote by quote. If I go out in the woods and I find Summer, I would have to scoop her up and I'd mess up a crime scene.
Right? And no, I have not had my baby yet. But if I don't go in very soon, and they're going to induce. I'm going to get induced. So that hopefully I go in on my own, right? Hopefully I go in on my own. But if I don't, I'm gonna, we got a date. We got a date, and a date I don't want to really keep. Right? That's dates that you hope you don't have to you don't have to go out with, but but yeah, I got a date. So, we'll see.
But now back to Summer, because we talk about Summer over here. Yeah, like Don always said, oh, I don't want to eat Candace's cooking. It has to be store-bought.
Hey, I want to tell you. I tell you what, I've already had 4 kids. I've already had 4, and I'm going to tell you what. Only one was easy. Only one was easy. I gotta say, I had one that was really easy. The other 3, OMG, right? OMG. That's all I got to say. So, yeah. And I'm going to tell you that one that was really easy to have has been a pain in my backside ever since. All right.
Is that Mr. Fix-It?
No, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. She's the easiest one, the easiest child I had. But I'll tell you what, she's real pain in the backside. That's for damn sure. That one right there, man, keeps me on my toes. Right, Mr. Fix-It. I'm gonna tell you what. He he's new to the game. He's new to the game. I mean, like my daughter, it's from day one to now. She keeps me on my toes. Mr. Fix-It, he just started all this stuff. He just started all this fixing things, the past, probably couple of years now. He's been into trying to fix this, trying to fix that, basically tearing it apart. But and I can handle stuff in small doses. Right. But my daughter, she like a continuous dose. it,
Oh,
it,
they're
it,
saying over there now,
it just keeps pouring.
I should hush. Hush about what?
Who said you should hush?
Over there in that channel.
Oh man, Pam, I
No,
wouldn't pay.
I'm just watching the chat. The chat
I
like
tell you
stupid.
what, that's what these people want. They want clout. They want recognition. I mean,
I'm back on yours now,
this is
so
exactly what they're striving for, and you don't want to give it to them.
oh,
Why
I
give
know.
it to them? I mean, if you're here, be here. I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, I'm
even
here.
I wouldn't even pay attention to that fucking
Oh, I
channel.
just shut it off, so it ain't matter.
You know?
Hey, guess what I bought, PG?
What'd you buy, Pam?
Oh my goodness. I won't put it up yet.
Another
Bought
big
me a
ass
Grinch.
call? Oh, you got your
Bought me a
Grinch?
Grinch outfit. PJs.
Oh wow.
Onesie.
So you're running around looking like a Grinch?
Yep, I sure am.
Hey, God bless. God bless, man. I tell you. I my sister always says she's the Grinch at Christmas, She's like, I'm a real Grinch. Yeah, but she's not. She's not. And the Grinch don't set up Christmas trees, hang all kinds of decorations, play Christmas games. All right, that ain't the Grinch. Absolutely not. No, I'm afraid she's no Grinch either. But I like those on Grinch costumes. I think they're cute. I think they're cute. I like the guys. Matter of fact, I was somewhere you could take pictures with the Grinch. I forget where it was. I was somewhere and there's this Grinch running around. That you could, the kids could take pictures with. I thought that was pretty cool. And I always get my kids pictures no matter how old they get. I always pull them out to the mall to get, pictures with Santa, right? And they hate it. They hate, and I really embarrassed them. I really embarrassed them this year, Pam. Guess what I did? Everybody gathered around Santa, but nobody was on his lap, right? Nobody was sitting on his lap. I ran up there and sat on his lap. I went running up there, sit on his lap, and I got a Christmas picture of me on Santa's lap and all the kids standing around. Right? I really embarrassed the shit out of them. I was like, yeah, a little bit of payback, right? I told them just wait till the future comes when I come and live at each one of their houses, right? I'm gonna be living at each one of their houses. I'm going to go to one house for a month and tear everything up and eat all the food and not clean it up. The trash, the trash can's going to be their floor, right? I ain't going to put nothing in the garbage. Especially Mr. Fix's house. When I get to Mr. Fix's house, I'm going to see, I'm going to see what walls something might be wrong with so I can knock a hole in them. Right? When I go visit him, I'm taking my sledgehammer, take out a few walls while I'm there. Did I do that? Right? That's what I'm going to tell him. Did I do that? I'm going to pull the Steve Urkel on him. Right? He's gonna be very disappointed with his mama. Yeah. I have to pay no bills, pay no rent, pay nothing. I just stay with one kid for a month, another kid for a month, and then go right back to the first one. Right? I'll be living rent free. I'm gonna have the life of Riley then. I can't wait. I can't wait. Find out. I gotta wonder what poor suckers are gonna end up marrying my kids. Right? I'm gonna be there. Rings on my fingers and bells on my toes. For real. It's probably going to be my effing luck, right? It's going to be my effing luck that my kids pull all their spouses in my house, right? They'll get married, pull them into my house, and expect me, me to cook and clean and take care of all of them, right? including a ton of kids they decide to have. Oh, Pam left. They must have said something she didn't like. It might have said something she didn't like over there. She decided to go visit up. Oh no. Hold on, she's still here. Hey Pam, what happened to you? You still there? Hello? Hello? No lights on. I guess nobody's home. Right? Look, it screen's all. Look at this screen's all black.
Hey, it's me.
How she had to come in another way. Hold on, I gotta take this down. Put this up. What's up?
I'm back. My phone went out.
Ma'am said, it's me.
Am I here?
You're here.
Okay. My phone went out for some reason. Hey, what did the cupcake say to the frosting?
I have no idea, Pam.
I'd be a muffin without you.
It would be a muffin without the icing. I didn't ever think about that, but you're right. It would, wouldn't it? Lord have mercy.
Oh no, I didn't go over
Absolutely.
there.
Happy
Oh hell no, I
birthday,
don't go
Jane.
in there.
Happy birthday.
I don't go in that abuser channel. My phone went out, so it's back on now.
Yeah, Pam's the one. Pam's the one that tells a bunch of jokes. Anyway,
But back to summer.
yeah, we gotta get back to summer. We gotta get back to summer. You know, let us remember, you know, some of the things we do know. Some of the things we do know that, you know, the tip of the iceberg.
You said you had
Where the f you get that shit from?
Don. You said you had
Holy
videotapes
crap.
of me.
What happened? What? What did you say, baby? I have videotapes of Josh, apparently. What the f?
I don't know why you're laughing.
Holy
You're the one that said it.
Are you serious?
Don, you said,
How do you know that I said that? Why would I say that?
yeah, that's a great question.
Number one, I don't lie, bitch. You can get that through your
I don't,
right
I
now.
mean, everybody lies.
No, I don't lie. I don't lie, motherfucker.
I'm not sure why Candace thinks it's so funny. I can play it for you if you want to hear it.
Because my boss called me, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, look, Josh.
Okay.
You can f off or you can suck a dick or whatever you want to do.
All right.
Whatever the f it is you do, you little
Yeah.
okay?
Right.
But my boss called me the other day. Man. Yes.
Okay.
Richard.
Oh.
He called me. I said that I sold somebody a tape, right? I sold some motherfucker a tape for $5,000 that showed him having sex with my daughter, right? And then I sold, and he was crying. This motherfucker was actually crying. This motherfucker is like a big shot of this community. Like, oh, holy fuck! And he was crying. He says, "But they're calling me a child molester," and I'm like, I started laughing.
They really was laughing, right? Really laughing. How deep are those tapes? How deep do those tapes run? How many? If okay, we're talking about the one with the boss. How many other ones are they? How deep down does that iceberg go? Right? How dark and deep does this go? I mean, if you got one video to sell, then you must have multiple videos to sell. You're not going to just do one and done. Not in a racketeer situation like this. You ain't going to do one and done. So that's what I'm talking. We know the tip of the iceberg, but how deep down does this all go? How muddy and evil is this water? Right? How disgusting does it get? That's what we know. That's what we need to know. And I'm going to tell you, I think it gets pretty fucking muddy. And I think it gets pretty dark. And I think it gets pretty damn deep, if you ask me. Because I'm going to tell you why.
Right there.
Law enforcement, when they caught Don Wells in jail, they went in there to get into a safe. And I think they were hoping to find something that they didn't find because Candace already had it at Kathy, the friend's house, stashed away in a bunch of shit she took there. Now that is my personal opinion, is it was not found because she had done moved it. That's
Like
just
she did the box.
That's my opinion. Just like the box, absolutely. Just like the damn box, absolutely.
She took it over there to hide it over there to know that that's where it's going to stay.
And I think, and I really do believe, there was a bunch of freaking chips in those boxes with a lot of different people doing some really sinister stuff up at 110 Ben Hill Road with a bunch, not just with Summer, but with multiple children. And I believe it was multiple human beings doing it, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. I don't think there's one video. I think there's multiple ones. I think law enforcement was looking for them when they went in there to get into that safe while Don was in jail. That's what I believe. Just saying. And and I think that's why this case has not been solved. I think this case would have been, if they would have found all the video footage, I think Don and Candace would probably already be in prison. That's just my opinion. Just saying. I think there's video footage of humans that don't want this to come to light. And therefore, that's why Summer's case ain't getting solved. That's just my opinion.
I was told, PG, everybody up there between Ben Hill and Beach Creek are related one way or the other somehow.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They're all related. That's why they don't want to talk.
At one time.
But obviously nobody up there on Beach Creek or Ben Hill wants to save any kids either.
At one time, the problem with, I think a lot of the problem with areas like this is one time these people were sticking to their own. They were sticking all to their own. They wasn't outsourcing to other people. And then, finally they started outsourcing with other human beings and everything. But, I think kind of like damage done. And even though they're outsourcing with with other families and stuff. I don't think they've really been doing it long enough to, you know, to get the real thickness out of their blood, if you know what I mean. That's my opinion. I'll keep it too, because, you know, research in history shows that at one point these people weren't outsourcing, you know, wasn't marrying into other families and stuff. They were, you know, basically marrying each other, to my understandings from history. And that's pretty, that's right down fucking
And you
disgusting.
know what's sad? Is there can be a case, and Candace and Dawn had so many people literally on their side that they could get a people out there and go and find Summer, but they knew where she was. That's why they never put anybody together, because they already knew where she was. They didn't need to search like all these, like the other kids. They searched for 3 and 4 days. Just like they found that one little boy right now in Oklahoma. They
Right.
found him alive.
Well, they just recently found a little boy and he wasn't alive. His dog was with him, but he
Yeah, there
wasn't.
was another one though.
He wasn't alive. But you
No,
know,
there was another one. He was 11 and he
and
ran
that's,
away from home, and he was just found after 8 days.
there you go. Well, you know, and the other little boy that wandered off, you know, it was, you know, it was tragic. It was very tragic.
That was
But,
John
you know,
John.
but you know, they didn't find, he wasn't alive. Hey Parker, I
RJ was the
appreciate
one.
it. I
He was
appreciate
12.
it. Hold on, Pam. I appreciate it, Parker. I really appreciate your support for Summer's channel.
RJ
God
was
bless you.
12, and he was the one that they just found alive. And John John was the one that they didn't find alive. With the
Right,
dog.
right. Well, you know, hey Dreamcatcher, I appreciate that, girlfriend, to support
Thank
Summer's
you.
channel. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate your support. God bless you.
That helps Mama PG.
Yeah, and I appreciate Jane. Jane gave this channel her birthday present tonight to help support it. God bless her.
Thank you.
I really appreciated that. But I tell you what, they found these kids, Pam. They found the one, and the one that was with the dog that wasn't, you know, wasn't no longer with us. That was unalived. The reason they didn't find this child sooner is because of the parent. The parent had stuff on the property that law enforcement couldn't go on there or do anything until they brought, you know, special people in to handle what was on the property before they could go in to look for this child. And, you know, and they did, like you said, they found him. And I'll tell you what, if you know, if Summer would have, and Pruitt's right, you know, they had to do what they did. They had to do the search for Summer because she's only 5 and you don't know, you know, you don't know what 5-year-olds are capable of doing. They do wander off. And just like that little boy, he wandered off. But the point being is Pruitt's right. He said if she was out there, we would have found her. We'd have found signs. We would have knew, you know, even if we didn't find her, we would have found signs that she was there. And they found nothing. They found absolutely nothing. He said, we did this deep dive search and nothing. Well, Don and Candace been telling them from the beginning that she ain't there. And if they're telling them where she isn't, then they must know where she is.
Exactly.
You know, that's just common damn everyday sense. And I really think they had enough against the Wells to arrest them right there and then. I think they could have put handcuffs on them. I think they could have took them in, and I think they could have prosecuted them up. You know, in the disappearance of their own child by the way they were acting and the things they were saying and you know, their actions and everything. Yes, you know, it did call for arrest. Why they weren't arrested, you know, is beyond me. And that's why I believe that, you know, there is video footage of a whole lot of stuff that, you know, people don't want to be spilled out here. And that might be, you know, that might be Don and Candace's, you know, I think that's their fort and their stronghold, just keeping them out of prison and keeping them from prosecution right now. That's just my opinion. You know, that's what I think. But
They're
like,
covering their own ass to not give up their daughter.
you know, it's what's under the water. It's what's under, you know, and this iceberg is what's under the water that we need more of. We need more of what's under the water to come to the surface in order to solve this case. Because there is some deep, dark shit in this case that, you know, that we really don't know nothing about, you know? There's a whole lot. I think there's a whole lot that, you know, that's going to come to life. I think it's going to come up to the surface. But, you know, it hasn't made it there yet. I think when Summer's case is solved, when it finally comes to, you know, comes to light and gets solved, I truly believe that we're going to find there was a whole lot of shit, you know, buried down under that surface that you ain't going to be able to believe how evil, you know, that these people, how evil humans can get. That's my opinion.
One thing about it, PG, one thing about it, that they'll never be able to hide anything. Because you know what? God knows where she is.
I'm going to tell you, you know, this next video tells us a lot. I mean, listen to how these people talk. Listen how they talk. Do you need an ambulance? I mean, really? This is, you know, this is their 911 operators. You need an ambulance? Who in the hell screams like that? I mean, you could tell that this place is not professional. They're not professional at all. These people don't know. They're not trained. They don't know what the hell they're doing when they're handling 911 calls, right? They ain't even using the good sense God gave them, if you ask me.
Nope.
He's always doing something to Summer. He's still trying to get her. He's still trying to get. Now we know why this 911 call was made. We know it's because Jose insisted that Summer be taken out of the shower with Donald. And if Candace wasn't going to do it, he was. And that's what started the whole entire thing. So this tells us what this phone call was all about. And it was some sinister, sick shit. That should have been addressed, but wasn't. Because Don Wells is very good at redirecting law enforcement onto bullshit instead of what will get him put in prison. And the whole reason a 911 call was made would have gotten him put in prison. But he redirected it on a fake-ass pow-pow in his vehicle that he knew wouldn't get him in prison at all. And it would redirect law enforcement's attention to it instead of why that 911 call was originally made and his ass would have been going down for. But this mostly shows that, you know, they had no problem abusing these children in a very disgusting way, right? A very disgusting way.
And Don said in his own words, I slept with
How's
her
that
for
funny?
5 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how is it funny, Don? How is it funny? Because I know if you and your nose is stuck in the bushes. You always are. You always are. That's why Can wants to, you know, friend request Summer's channel. That's why you try to request Summer's channel, Facebook. You guys, you're definitely in the bushes when it comes to YouTube. You're listening to everything. How is it funny? How is it funny to put
Nothing
these
is
children,
funny
to put
about
these
them
children through hell? How is it
sitting
funny
back.
to do what you're doing to
And they're
children?
sitting. What? Okay, PG, let me ask you something. Who puts a banner across their driveway knowing that that's the only way up there? So every time they run over that banner, they're running over their daughter. Make it make sense. When they had the flyer across the driveway.
The message
put
that
a
the
flyer
message that they was
or
trying
the
to
banner.
send. I remember that. And I think the message that they were trying to send was they felt that Summer and all of those kids and all of us are beneath them. These motherfuckers felt, as I said, they felt like royalty. They felt like celebrities. They felt like, you know, they were safe with whatever they got, whatever they're hiding, whatever they're concealing, whatever they're keeping, you know, somewhere to save their asses from being arrested and prosecuted the hell out of. Whatever it is, it's got to be good. It's got to be some good shit. It's got to be somebody. It's got to be somebody that you know is in a place to hold everything else off. If you ask me, that's just my opinion.
Hey, Candace, remember PG? She would cry, and I'm sure Chad had known it. She has cried over losing a friend than she has her daughter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I
Putting
agree.
a banner
Parker.
up on the roof,
I agree.
putting the banners on the roof Where is people supposed to see it? All the birds do is on it. That's what they think is summer when they do stuff like that.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Candace had tons of pictures on her phone of summer. Exactly what summer looked like right then, right now. And it took Robin to ask law enforcement, do you have pictures? Do you need pictures? I have pictures. It took Robin to give up the pictures to law enforcement of what summer looked. Candace wasn't even giving up any pictures that that she had thousands of them. She wasn't giving up none. She could have opened Facebook and said, here is what my daughter looks like right here. But no,
Pick whichever one.
Robin Lane had to give law enforcement pictures of summer because Candace wasn't cooperating and doing it even then. She wasn't, and right there, that shows that you're guilty as fuck. You don't want to give law enforcement pictures of your child to be put out there in society for this child to be found. When you're not cooperating. You are not cooperating when you don't immediately offer pictures and and a birth certificate and all the stuff. I mean, you have to, if you want law enforcement to look for your child, you have to give them a birth certificate and say, this is my child. Right here's their name, here's my name, here's my ID, here is pictures of my child. Find my child. But Candace was doing nothing of that. She wasn't proving Summer was even hers. She wasn't giving pictures to law enforcement to put out there to find Summer. She wasn't doing a damn thing. These people weren't moving fast enough. I mean, this stuff wasn't being covered immediately by news stations and pictures being put up within minutes of this child disappearing. Law enforcement didn't get a hold of the news stations and have them up there immediately, putting pictures out of this child and doing what normally would be done when a child's missing. They're up there keeping all this shit hush hush, acted. I mean, if it would have been on Facebook, nobody would have really fucking knew it because they wasn't getting it out here quick enough to save any child. And you got to wonder about that, right? You got to wonder, why the hell was they taking so long to put this child out here, and let everybody know that it needed to be found? I mean, they didn't know. Okay, you don't know if it wandered off or not. And that's even more reason to get a hold of news stations and put the child's face out there, because you need to cover all bases, not one base, but all bases in the disappearance of a missing child. And something was really fucking wrong there, because law enforcement was just trying to cover one base and not the other bases. Why? Because they didn't fucking know. They didn't know she was wandering off, but that's where they were fucking up everything and wasting their energy. And they wasn't looking at any other angles at the beginning of all of this. And you got to wonder about why the fuck, they did all of that and not cover every base the way they should have. What I'm saying is there's something really fucking dirty in Summer's case. Just saying.
Yeah.
There's really fucking something evil and dirty going on in
I
it.
have said it. There've been more than one crime in this case. Summer's been moved several times. And why is it that Don Wells, where's Summer? Go out and get her. No, get off your dumb ass, Dawn.
I'm
Get her
thinking,
yourself.
what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, could this be some type of, group, some type of, some type of freaking, weird fucking, sick, back alley, some type of back alley, business going on that a lot of people were involved in. A lot of very sick humans were taking advantage of. And and sick humans ain't always Fred Hills and Andy Bernards, Allie's families, little fucking weirdos that look like they crawled out from under a rock, like Allie's old, ex-old man, Hunter's daddy. It ain't always these kind of people. A lot of times, you've got some pretty damn nice cars out of some really good areas pulling up to, to indulge themselves in that kind of sickness. What I'm saying is it's all walks of life. All walks of life get into some real disgusting stuff. I mean, a lot of, you wouldn't expect a preacher. You wouldn't expect a preacher to do this kind of stuff, but they do, right? Preacher, just because they're a preacher, don't mean that they're not capable of doing some sinister shit. That's just what I'm saying.
In case, and even your daycare workers, your caretaker, anybody, none of that, unless you know them, I wouldn't trust them in my house. And to be honest with you, like I said, I know Tennessee's good, but I don't want to go to Tennessee. Ain't nothing there.
Pam, my point is, there's something dark and deep. When I talk about the iceberg, there is something under that dark, deep surface that we know nothing about. It's really fucking evil. And I think it's pretty big. I think it's like fucking huge, if you ask me. I think it's
of what
huge.
Candace said. I'm not that kind of sick.
Oh,
When
she sure
Ernie told her that maybe she ought to
sure
go
the
to
fuck
the
is.
hospital. And then
Oh,
all of a sudden, she comes up and says later on, oh, let's go live. I'll tell you everything that happened, because she knows
in 2 days.
everything that happened.
In 2 days. Right. And if she didn't know what happened, how could she fucking tell him that she's going to tell him in 2 days? How's she
Exactly.
going to tell him in 2 days if
Give
she
me
didn't,
2 days, and I'll
if she
tell you
did, if she
everything that
fucking didn't
happened.
know? Yeah, because
We'll
she
go
does
live.
know. She does know everything that happened. She was there. That bitch was there. She knows everything. Absolutely. Just like she was at Dee Dee's. She knows everything. She was there when Dee Dee went out of this world, and I believe and I believe that she was there when Summer went out of this world. I believe that bitch was there, and I don't think it bothers Candace seeing people go out of this world as long as it's not her ass. Now, when her fucking teeth were fucked up and they were hurting like hell, she was crying like a fucking baby, wasn't she? When it's her ass in pain and it's her ass feeling it, she's crying and whining like a fucking baby. A yellow belly damn coward. But she can inflict that shit on other people and not give a damn, right?
Yeah, like
It doesn't bother her a bit. She has no fucking mercy, no kindness, no caring, no fucking heart at all. You can't even call this bitch black-hearted because she ain't got a heart. She sat there and got this woman no damn help. She got her little girl no fucking help. She don't get anybody help. because she ain't about getting people help. She's about standing there with her sinister ass, getting some kind of fucking some kind of charge out of seeing other people's misery and other people leaving out of the world, right? But
Yeah,
but
look
she's
what
a
happened.
coward. She's a coward when it comes to
Look
her
what
ass
happened when she got
going
kicked
that
out
way.
of the Walmart. Oh, they didn't do it the way she wanted it. So she went down an aisle and said, oh, I'll just blow up Walmart. Yeah, that's why she got kicked out. And then she didn't want to she called Walmart and said, don't put my daughter's flyer up at the Walmart. What?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. That's true. She did.
Who doesn't want their daughter's flyer everywhere?
Right?
Everywhere
did
you
say
can
that.
put it. Because Candace went behind everybody because they showed where it was. And she went by taking them all down. Look
Wow.
at the bench they put down at the end of the road. Dee Dee and her husband put that bench in. Not thinking
Yeah.
people wouldn't decorate it. Well,
Don
yeah, when they
Wells.
decorated, look what Don Wells did.
Don Wells was pulling posters down. He was pulling them
Exactly.
down. And you know what he told me? That he didn't have to worry about, he didn't have to worry about the businesses because they don't like that stuff in their, that most of them don't want to let you hang it there to begin with. And if people do, they tear it down anyway. Yeah, he had the audacity to say that. He had the audacity to say that.
PG.
He also had the audacity to say he didn't know why they was taking a fund up for billboards and he didn't understand why they just couldn't give that money to him and Candace. They didn't even want the reward fund once they found out they couldn't get it. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers know exactly what happened to this little girl. They know exactly what happened to her. And then they was trying to profit off of her afterwards. Who the fuck does that? Who
PG,
does
let
it?
me ask one thing.
I don't even know.
Let me ask one thing. For the chat to get rid of that Suzette Brown.
What?
Get rid of Suzette Brown.
Why?
Oh, does Pam have something to say to me? She's the one that called me 108 years old. Over there on that other channel.
Oh,
I have
really?
nothing to say to that channel at all.
She says, does Pamela Tate have something to say to me? Right here it is. Do you got something to say to her?
I don't want to talk to her. I have nothing to say to any of them because she was in that chat when Lisa Jenkins was up there. I have nothing to say to none of them.
Well, she's right here and right now. I mean, you should tell her to apologize. If she, if she was,
apologize because
if she was in another, if she was in another chat talking really bad about you.
Yeah, the chat she always in, PG.
For what reason? For what reason?
The chat that just dogs everybody. I'm going to stand my grounds. And it's the same chat that Candace mods for. And I'm not going to say the channel name.
Well, it looks like she just came in here just now. Because she's not up any farther. She's down here.
I was on my channel and had Lisa up there, which is my business, Pam. There you go.
Is Suzette Brown the one that runs another channel?
Yeah, over there with the other one. Yeah, they don't like me.
Who's the other one?
I'm that bitch mama bear.
That bitch Mama Bear?
Yes.
And this Suzette Brown has a channel too?
I don't know. I never go in her channel.
She said she
always
was.
with-
She
with-
said I was
She's
on my.
always in.
She said
she's
I was
always
on
in
my
Mama
channel.
Bear.
I was on my channel, and I had Lisa up on there, which is my business.
Yeah, Lisa Jettins,
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
with Mama Bear.
Well, I don't know
They
who
was all
you.
talking about me the
I
other
don't know
night.
who.
They got something
Pam,
to
can
ask
you,
me.
Pam, can you calm down a minute? Just a second, honey. Just a second. Lisa Brown, I don't know who you are. I really don't. Matter of fact, I ain't even heard of you before. But you just got a steel toe boot in a fucking ass from here. There you go. You know, you can nurse that. And see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
I'm sorry.
I don't personally give a fuck about your channel. But if you have Lisa Jensen, a person who, you know, got a child taken at the Wells house for SA because she was letting people take it away and bring it back to her and take it away and bring it back to her, not caring where they was taking it, not caring what they was doing to it. And then law enforcement came in, took all the kids out, including that one. They be for SA, and the child's gone. She had never got it back. She's down the street right after that at another house where they arrest a man for touching a little girl on a front porch because a neighbor happened to see it. Lisa's standing right there in the yard with it all going on. She gets this child no help. A neighbor had to. And then she's in a hotel not too long ago, doing it again. And she's also over at the hotel corresponding with Candace and them when a mother and her 3 children came up, disappeared from that hotel. And you want to have that trash on your panel. Don't bring your ass over here into PG's channel, okay? Don't come over here. I don't care who you got on your panel. I really don't care. It's garbage. And you have to be garbage to have that garbage on your panel. And after you know all of this, after you know what kind of person she is, and you affiliate yourself with it, then you're fucking garbage too, in my opinion. So don't bring your shit over here. Don't drag it into my chat because it ain't going to happen, okay? We don't
This is
affiliate
Summer's
ourselves
Army
with
over here.
garbage like that. Absolutely. No, we don't. So you got a steel toe boot in the ass. Don't come back in here bothering anyone on my panel or in my chat because that's none of your fucking business, okay? You want to talk about none of your fucking business? That's none of your fucking business. Stay the hell out of here. You stay on your channel with your fucking trash, okay? You do that.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it, girl. Don't worry about it. We don't put up with shit over here, and we do not welcome scum into this chat over here. We're godly people. Ungodly shit can stay the hell out of here, right? There you go. Just saying.
But back to Summer. We always talk
All
about
right.
Summer over
Well,
here.
that's
This
good.
is not some
Y'all go.
petty head got that bullshit there.
Are you done?
We talk about the real facts over here.
Amen. And we're about to talk about some right now.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, that's good. Y'all go over there and ask why exactly it is he was selling drugs to the children at 110. Why he was potentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched with the shit he was selling them over there. Go ask. Because I have fucking questions. Not standing in front of him anymore.
Not standing in front of me anymore. I'm not standing in front of him anymore because he's with another woman that he put a ring on that thing. And I'm not standing in front of him anymore because that money's not coming up on my hill. It's not going to buy me gas and food and my nails done and my hair bleached and all the bullshit that, it was once doing. So I'm not going to stand in front of him anymore. I'm going to put it all out here and just tell the damn truth of what Andy Bernard really was over there supplying in order for these children over there to be done the way she just explained them being done, right? Not just Summer, but other children as well. Absolutely. So you know what? That allows us to know that was a lot more videos than just the boss. That right there lets us know there's a way more, because if they videoed the boss, they videoed everybody. And she said not just Summer, but other children too. So that tells us that there was some type of business going on over there that had a lot of clientele and probably a hell of a lot of videos. And that's what was being looked for in that safe. In my opinion, when law enforcement came in, they thought, bingo, we hit the jackpot. We can solve this case now and put these fuckers in prison. And when they opened the thing up and Candace Dunn took the shit and ran her ass somewhere else with it, and they couldn't get their hands on it. Well, the case still ain't getting solved. And that's my opinion. And I believe, this is way deeper and way darker than, this meeting the eye, because it's under the surface and not on top of the surface, right? We don't know how fucking dark and deep this bullshit goes. With these suspects and all the stuff they was doing, up there in that little community with these little children that, had no voice, had no way of escaping the horrifying stuff that these sick, disgusting people were coming in and using them and up for and doing to them. We have no damn idea of everything that these children were subject to and done to at the hands of these sick people. We absolutely, have no idea. Do I believe it's going to come out in a wash one day? Yes, I do. I believe that some of these little girls and some of these little boys that this was done to are going to grow up and they're going to come out here and they're going to want to talk about it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you, that's what these essayers don't understand. What they don't understand is, yeah, this child may not have a voice now, and this child may not, be able to defend itself, and it may not be able to, fight what's going on and the pain and all the suffering and misery and hell that they put them through. But one day this child's going to be a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman, and they're going to be looking at your ass in the face, knowing exactly what the fuck you are, and they're going to let other people know it too. They're not always going to be a child. And they're going to have no damn respect for your ass. And now the statue doesn't run out. It doesn't run out on the victims like it once did. It holds there. And when they become adults, they're probably going to own everything you motherfucking have, because they're going to go into the court system and they're going to sue the hell up out of you for all the pain, the misery, and the hell and the suffering that you put them through as a child. And I say good luck to them. And may God walk in there with them, and may they take everything you have for what they were being put through. That's what I say. May the Lord bless them. May the Lord bless them with every damn thing you own. And hopefully you own a lot, because they will deserve it. And I'm going to tell you, we don't need Don Wells' little videos. Because you know what? Those children that's on those videos, besides Summer, they're going to have a voice. They're still here. They're going to grow up and they're going to tell. They're going to tell Summer's story and they're going to tell their own. And we're going to know who in the hell was on those videos then, because children don't forget. They don't forget the faces that did evil to them. That's one thing about a child. They know your ass when they see you. And they'll always know you. And one day they'll tell all about you.
But see, the thing about it, Don and Candace, is always, I've got to be in the spotlight. I've got to be the top dog. I've got to be everything about this. Let's not talk about Summer like she said. I got to put Summer aside because the boys are here and living. Well, that right there tells you she knows that Summer's gone. And she said
Right.
it out of her own mouth.
Yes, she did. That's true. That's true.
And why would you say that if you didn't know that your daughter was gone?
And I'll tell you another thing, Pam. Right here proves, right here.
True.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. You gotta tell Mama Bennett what you just told me. About
What?
the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Who called you? Who's harassing you? What?
Not now.
Oh,
When me and Vanna lived up on the hill, up in, what was it? Just behind the Rover store. They called us at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they were on our way to our house. Summer was 3 years old, and I guess Candace had, I think it was meth or something on the table, and she was high up her ass, and she left the room, and Summer got into it, and she called us, and she showed up at our door, and Summer was like, she was shaking and crying.
oh my God.
And I was like, y'all didn't take her to the hospital? And she was like, no, we would have got arrested. So there we are, holding a freaking 3-year-old crying because she's scared and high out of her mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they never cared about them kids.
Right there proves that not only would Candace hide, you know, the truth. Like, she didn't take Summer to a hospital for help. It shows that she will not get anyone help. She took this baby to someone else's home, and they didn't get this baby help either. They didn't bother to get her help. This shows that not only Candace, but Allison and them are also guilty. They're guilty as hell of hiding and covering up as well. I mean, like, if Summer wouldn't have made it, Candace wouldn't have ever told, and Allison and them wouldn't have ever told. Why? Because they would have been accessory to the crime, right? They would have got just as much jail time as Candace for not calling 911. So all of them were willing to hide the fact, that this child was in dire need of help. None of them bothered to get her any. They were willing to cover it. If she didn't make it, they were willing, even at that point, to cover it up. And then what would they have been doing? They would have been hollering that she, disappeared. They don't know where just like they did, when she was 5 years old. It would have been the same thing, only 2 years earlier, had she not made it after getting into that stuff. So this shows you that these people will do whatever they have to do to cover their fucking asses instead of getting a child the help it needs if it's really bad off. And Summer was bad off. You could tell she was very sick. She was bent over. She was losing tons of weight. Something was very wrong. And they know what the fuck was wrong. And they know what exactly caused it. And they knew that they would be put in fucking prison if they took her to hospital to get her help. And instead of getting her help, in my opinion, they destroyed her at that swimming hole. They destroyed her in order to save all their asses from the sick, this minute weird shit that they was doing up there on Ben Hill Road to and with children. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it.
And everybody that knew she was being treated like that failed her also.
Right?
And Candace, when Dawn was locked up, she never went to the jail because she didn't want to see police. She didn't want nothing to do with the police.
Right? Exactly.
She wanted nothing to do with anything.
Right?
It was about what she can get. And
Absolutely.
the superstar she is. And she
And let
ain't.
me tell you another thing. Let me tell you another thing before I have to get out of here. But I want to show you something else here. Right here. Right there. This is true. They took him swimming, but if you ask me, I think they set him up. I think they set him up. Basically, she's saying they took him swimming, but I think they set him up to do evil to Summer, to do evilness for him, to do the dirty deed that fucking Don didn't want to do because he wanted to be at work hiding, just like Andy. The dirty deed that Grandis and Candace didn't want to do. They had that boy, and that's why they got twisted teas and God knows what else, and hayed this kid up. Was to, they wanted to hay him up to give him the courage to go in that water and do the dirty damn deed. That's why the camera, when he went in the water, that's why the camera went off. And that was if you ask me, my opinion, that was the end of Summer right there. That was the end of Summer. And it was the perfect crime because who can hear a scream underwater? You cannot hear a scream underwater. And you can pack a child back to a car, put the child in, and nobody thinks nothing of it. People pack children all the time, and you don't think a damn thing of it.
Everybody remembers. Don said, "I seen her put her in her car," and then you get Don saying, "Oh, I'll see her in the resurrection." You won't find no evidence.
That's right. You won't find none. And I'm going to tell you, and Hunter said that Summer was wet. He said she was wet against the driver's side door after swimming. He said she was on a pillow. When Chris asked him, where was Summer? He said she was on a pillow next to the driver's side door because she's the only one wet from swimming. No, he was wet too. We seen him go into the water. His ass was wet too, but he was wanting to disconnect himself from being wet. And why? Because he knew what happened. He knew what happened. He didn't even want to admit that his ass was wet. And I'm going to tell you, that boy knows. And so where did she get the dry clothes? Where did she get the dry clothes? She had to get them at Allison's house. She had to get cleaned up and everything done at Allison's house. And I brought a little special thing with me tonight to show you about Allison's house. Let's see about Allison's house. Are you sure that's the driver's side?
So the milk was in the middle?
No, it was on the one side or the other. Let me, I think I do got a picture. Let me just reassure myself because I could have swore she was behind Grandis's seat. And I was right. And I was right on the milk jug. She was behind Grandis's seat, not Candace's seat, like Hunter was talking about, all wet on a pillow. She was stuck on some milk jugs, all propped up in a nice, clean, dry outfit because, they done did the dirty deed at the freaking swimming hole, got her to Allison's house, and that's where they cleaned her up, and Allison knew it. Allison knew it. But she could have been behind Candace's. That could be my bad.
Yes, Grandis was in the truck when they dropped Summer off. Yes.
Oh, yes, Grandis was in the truck when they dropped Summer off. So they dropped Summer off at Allison's house to be cleaned up and redressed while they went to do something. I think they went to the car wash. That's what I think. I think they went to the car wash to get the smell up out of the truck. I think they had to go and do some cleaning up, get rid of that pillow and do, and do some cleaning up before they, they went any further. I personally, my personal opinion is there was more than one pillow inside that damn truck. And I believe Summer was on one of those pillows, all dripping wet. And probably Hunter was on the pillow that you saw on the floor because he was wet too. And I bet his pillow was stuck. It's the one we seen in the picture. And the pillow she was on was the one that they went to the car wash, probably disposed of. Because if you took note, you thought it was raining. You thought it, when you saw them take that video, you thought it was raining because there seemed to be something wet on the back window outside. And it didn't rain. We checked and it had not rained that day. So, why did it look wet? They must have went to a car wash, if you ask me. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. I think that they did drop her off, at Allison's, packed her in there, and she needed to be cleaned up. And they needed to go and dispose of some stuff because cadaver dogs, is going to be called in. They knew search dogs, cadaver dogs were going. And also they messed the first dogs up with their dogs. They knew to get their dogs all locked away. With law enforcement coming up there, them dogs needed to be locked away. But they didn't lock them dogs away because they wanted to mess up the first cadaver dogs that came in. And then they had to bring in new ones, which delayed everything. And it gave that truck even more time to absorb, the cleaning fluids and all the stuff that they did inside that truck and outside. It gave it more time, to absorb everything, to mess up the smell for the dogs in that truck anyway. That's my opinion. Now I know that I can put pepper down and screw up a dog's snout. I know I can put baby powder down and screw up a dog's snout. I know that I can use a strong, some kind of strong spray at a car wash to mess up a dog's snout. Their snout ain't hard to mess up. Bleach, good old bleach will mess up a dog's snout. Any type of strong odor will tear that dog's snout up. And it'll go running away. It ain't going to be, once you mess a snout up, it's no good now. It's no good, it's not going to get, because that's whatever scent that you stuck in its nose, it's going to be there. And that dog is useless after that. It's just fucking useless. It's going to take a while for that dog to, get back to normal and be able to do its job again. And that's the truth.
Think about it, PG. If Summer walked away from the hill, don't you think the dogs would have followed her?
Yeah.
They would have followed where she went.
At least, I truly believe that at least, one or two of them would have. The ones that, especially the ones that, that she affiliated herself with all the time, like that little Lucky, and the dogs that she, the dogs that she petted all the time and was around constantly. Of course, law enforcement knows Summer didn't wander off. And like I said earlier, I gotta wonder why law enforcement wasn't covering all bases instead of just one base. That don't fucking sound right to me.
And then they wouldn't let EquuSearch come back. They stopped
There you
EquuSearch.
go. Oh yeah. And that's another thing. Law enforcement didn't want any hands in that except the hand-picked people, the hand-picked ones that, that they chose. And I found that to be pretty fucking suspicious too. When the other little girl went missing and they knew exactly who she was with, they were asking the whole damn community to come out. They didn't care who got lost in the fucking woods to find that little girl. But for Summer, we got to worry about people getting lost in the woods and having to worry about them now. And just a bunch of fucking bullshit. And I found that to be very suspicious as well. Put a 1 in the chat if you found it suspicious.
A lot of this case, if you look at the other cases, if the parents don't want them found, then they won't be found.
Right. I find that law enforcement very fucking suspicious. I find that law enforcement very damn suspicious. Yes, I do. There's something ain't right in Summer's case. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was law enforcement, I would already have arrested Don Candace and fucking Grandis on the suspicion of Summer's disappearance. I would have had them downtown. I would have interrogated the hell out of their asses, whether they liked it or not. You want a fucking lawyer? Then you better be calling one right now or answering these damn questions. Right? And I'm going to tell you what, I would have done brought charges against them and prosecuted their asses and seen where the hell it went. And why they haven't done it, I don't even know.
And not the lawyer that you get for CPS.
Because I know with the evidence they got. I know with just the evidence they got. If I was sitting on a jury listening to how these people didn't do anything to find their daughter, how they was telling law enforcement where she wasn't, that tells me that they knew where she was when they were sitting there, lying out their asses, avoiding law enforcement, not cooperating with law enforcement, telling all the lies they were telling and doing all the things they've been doing. And I heard that 911 call that, law enforcement dropped the ball on. And then I would have heard where he's, talking about selling a tape to us, of his boss doing nasty stuff and laughing and laughing and laughing. Let me tell you right now, I have no problem, saying these motherfuckers are guilty as hell, put them in a prison and don't ever let them back out in society. If I was on a jury, just that alone would make me convict these son of bitches and have them put in prison. That is, so why are they not doing it? Why are they not doing it? That's the question. What the hell is holding them back from doing what's righteous in the sight of God and in the sight of we the people when it comes to these mother freaking criminals up there on Ben Hill Road who, have more than 1,000 ways told us that they're guilty as fucking hell. How come they haven't been prosecuted? That's my question. Why are they still out here?
In their own words.
Why are they still out here to follow children around? Why are they still out here to follow other people's children around with videoing them with their telephones and then turning aside and running like a coward when older people come out that they're afraid is going to see and say something to them by doing what they were doing? What I'm trying to say is those kids that they were videoing were not safe. They were not safe. And Donnie turning away when the older people came out that, might address what the hell they're doing, and he runs away and Candace, and then has to holler at Candace to turn her ass away as well because she's too stupid to turn away. That right there tells us that these children were not safe. They were doing something evil and dirty when they were, by filming these kids, or they wouldn't have turned and ran like they did. When the older people came out, they could have confronted them. That tells us that, people ain't safe in this society as long as they're loose. But none of this is going to court. None of this is being shown, and none of this is putting them in prison. Where in my opinion, they belong. Just saying.
And I agree. I mean, I'm sure everybody put a 1 in the chat if you agree. They should have already been arrested.
Absolutely.
From out of their own mouth, the words.
Right.
Out
It's
of their
not what
own
we're
mouth,
saying.
not ours.
It's not what we're saying. It's what they're saying. It's what's coming out of their mouth.
Exactly. And for Candace to sit there, oh, I'm going to church, but she sits there asleep.
Right?
Don't care what her kids are doing in church. And then you
Exactly.
shave your daughter's head. And then you do all this stuff. Candace, where's your daughter? You know where she's at. Over 4 years has been too long for everybody to sit back and watch Dawn and Candace go for free.
Right?
They like the attention. Well, what about Summer when she was around that for sale barrel? She was being coached to come back, to go forward, to come back.
Right.
She was being coached in there. You could hear them say, come back.
Right.
Turn around and come back.
Yeah.
And when you heard Dawn say, oh, I let the kids play on the roof.
Hey,
A 4-year-old?
Something.
A 5-year-old you let play on the roof?
He didn't let her play on the roof that night. They were all down at the bottom of the hill. They weren't even up on the hill. They were at the bottom of the hill. And they were all flying, and if those kids were flying everywhere, and they were down there just, down there
Oh.
really,
And you know what?
really talking it up.
Candace is big one. Nobody would do this as long as I was around. Where were you, Candace?
I don't know where the fuck she was when what initially happened to Summer. I don't know where she was when whatever happened to Summer that caused Summer to get very, very sick and, have to be destroyed that way. I don't know where the fuck Candace was. But here's what I got to say. Candace knew what was going on, and she should not have ever allowed, being the mother of this little girl, she should not have ever allowed anyone to be doing whatever they were doing to cause this baby to get in the situation it was and have to be destroyed the way it was. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she gave birth to 7 kids and ain't got none of them.
She gave birth to 7 kids and didn't give a fuck about even one. Not even damn one did she give a fuck about. 7 children, and she didn't care what other humans put her children through or what she put her children through herself.
Exactly.
This bitch couldn't feel for no one else. She's incapable of feeling for anything or anyone other than her fucking nasty, dirty, low-life self. And that's my opinion. I will keep it. She didn't even feel for Dee Dee. She sat there and let Dee Dee die. And you know what the fuck she had to say about it? I'll tell you what she had to say about it, because it's right freaking here. Right here it is. This is what Candace had to say. We all are going to die. LOL. Laughed about it. She laughed about this woman's death. And then she took her ass into Kingsport. Look how happy she is to meet up with Fred and get the fucking title to Dee Dee's vehicle. Yeah, that's what they were doing in Kingsport. Right, Candace? Right, Donald? You motherfuckers were there meeting up with Fred to get the damn title and everything to Dee Dee's car turned over to Candace's ass. That's exactly what the fuck you was doing there, having a good damn time. And this woman ain't even cold yet. This woman isn't even cold yet. And you're fucking there collecting on getting her no help and her meeting her demise so it could be your self-gain, right? Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Why didn't she put Dee Dee in the car and drive her to the hospital?
Because that bitch didn't want Dee Dee living. If you ask me, this is my opinion. This is my opinion, because I know Candace was around Dee Dee, and Dee Dee kept going into the hospital. And then they take Candace home, and Dee Dee would get well. And then finally Candace came and wasn't going to leave that time, and Dee Dee met her demise. If you ask me, I think Candace was doing something that caused Dee Dee to have these episodes that she was able to get over when Candace wasn't around, doing whatever she was doing to make this woman sick. And I think she went back and she wasn't going to leave until this woman, did meet her demise. And that time she stayed. And to be honest with you, she didn't get her no help because, why are you going to get somebody help that you're fucking doing something to, to cause them to die to begin with? Why would you save them? And I truly believe, that she did something that caused this woman's death. That's just my opinion. I'll keep it. Just like I believe that she went to that swimming hole and was the whole fucking cause of her daughter perishing and not being here any longer. With Summer, they destroyed her to save their asses from going to prison. With Dee Dee, Candace had been looking past Dee Dee at Dee Dee's husband and everything Dee Dee had, and that was for self-gain. And that's what evil people do. Evil people destroy other people to save their ass for self-gain out of jealousy and hatred. And this is why they destroy people. And mainly they destroy people because they fucking can. Because they can.
And the love.
And, and until people stand up, until law enforcement stands up, until people start to, get a mother freaking strong spine in their back and say, you can't do this shit to us, they're going to continue to do it.
And
evil will only do what you allow it to do. It will only do what you allow.
The last tree Jinky put up. So, Candace goes rolling in there. Oh, I brought the man.
Right?
I brought the man.
Right, because she didn't want to offend Fred. She didn't say my man like she used to. Don's my man. She said, I brought the man. She didn't want to offend Fred. See, she got Fred on the hook too. Yeah, Candace, tell him about how you've been meeting up with Fred. Tell him how you've been meeting up with him here and there. Why don't you tell some of these secrets? Won't you tell him how Don don't give a damn because when you come back, you've got cigarettes. You've got stuff to show for your little visits to Freddie. Yeah, why don't you tell him? Right, Don? Oh, how does PG know this shit? PG knows a lot. Right? Know a lot. And law enforcement knows it too, Don Wells. Law enforcement knows everything about you fucks. You think they're not keeping a track of you? Oh, hell yeah, they are. So you just keep your bullshit up. Because the more shit you do, the better the case is going to be when they do prosecute your ass. And you will get prosecuted at some point. You better remember, old Ronnie Lawson's going out. and a new sheriff's coming on. And then I don't think the new sheriff gives a fuck what was in your safe. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it.
All right, I'm getting off here, PG.
Hey,
Love
girl.
everybody
I
in
gotta get out of
chat.
here too.
It was a rough night, but we got through it.
Absolutely. Hey,
Love you
girl.
all.
I love you too. You know it.
God bless.
God bless, Pam. All right, you guys. PG's going to head out of here, but not before I ask you, keep those prayers going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Keep them prayers going up from our lips to God's ears. I know he's hearing us through his son, Jesus Christ. Amen. God hears everything. He hears everything. When you pray in the name of Jesus Christ, God hears everything. So keep those prayers going up and always make sure you say in the holy name of your son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Keep those prayers going up for all of these missing kids. Michael Vaughn hasn't been found. Sebastian Rogers hasn't been found. Jack and Lily hasn't been found. Little Emmanuel hasn't been found. A lot of these children have not been found. Let us keep the prayers going up for them because God is listening and God will pull this to the light. Anything done in the dark will be pulled to the light. The Bible says that. And if the Bible says it, it's true. So keep them prayers going up because God's going to pull it into the light and he's going to let all these children be found and he's going to let everything that was done be known to us. But it's on his time, not ours. So let us be patient and let us continue to be a voice for the voiceless until God does what he does best. And that's pull it out in the light and let everybody know exactly what happened to these children. And he will do it. He will do it. Do not lose faith. Don't lose faith. If you're going to have faith in anything, you better have it in God. Amen. Good night, everybody. God bless and much love. And everybody that supported the channel tonight financially, I thank you. And everybody that was here supporting it by just being here and doing what you do best, I appreciate you as well. Thank you all. God bless you and much, much love to each and every last one of you that was here for the right reasons. We had to give a steel-toed boot to somebody that wasn't here for the right reason. And there's probably a lot of them in the bushes that ain't here for the right reason. But God bless every one of you that was. I'm going to tell you, there's a gift in heaven. And it'll be your reward one day. It'll be your reward one day. So keep building that mansion, that cabin, whatever you expect to get in heaven, keep going, doing your good deeds and keep building at it. And one day that'll be your residence. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.